Welcome to this demo class on object-oriented programming. So myself N. Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor, Department CSC, GCE Sengipati Tanjavur. So in this video, I'm going to explain the concept of role of super keyword in inheritance hierarchy. So we know that the class consists of the different properties like methods, instance variables, and constructors. So the value means the concept of this super keyword is is applicable for all these properties. First of all, we must to understand the class consists of three properties. So three properties in Java. So one is constructors. Second one is instance variable, that is called the data member, and third one is methods. So by the role of the super keyword is applicable on these three categories with some specific situations. Let us discuss with one simple examples. The first one is for invoking a base class parameterized constructor. Second one, that we are going to accessing the value of your base class instance variable value and invoking the base class overriding method. Okay, we will discuss it one by one with the help of example program. Okay, let us to take a one simple example. I'm going to create a class. So here, first of all, the first one method is for the role of method in base class. In constructors. The role of super keyword in constructor concepts. Assume that there is a parameterized constructor we have. So I am in parameterized constructor in base class. Parameterized constructor in base class. Now the class over. I'm going to create another one more class that is derived extends from demo class, that is called base class. Here my base class name is a demo. Assume that there is some. I'm going to define another one variable that is called b. So my name is derived. So it is a derived class, and I'm going to assign a value to this instance variable. So here also I'm going to assign the value to this variable. So we know that the local variable name and instance name are same, so that we are differentiating the local. Always the highest priority goes for local variable. So in order to differentiate, we are using this keyword. This keyword this represents for current instance. I'm going to define a single entry point of your program execution, and it takes one argument. So one argument. So in that I'm going to create an object for the derived class. But actually here the derived class consists of the parameterized constructor, so must to have some value parameters. So it takes a two parameter. So for this two parameters, so that I need to pass the two values for the instance variable of your default for both and the base and derived classes. So now I'm just assigning a values. Okay, so now so we know that there is an error will be displayed. So because I didn't use any super keyword, just you can refer to the previous video of the constructor hierarchy. So here I didn't have a super keyword, so that automatically the error will be displayed, because at least we must have one default constructor here. Okay, so just I'm going to compile this. So there is a error, so cannot apply. For the demo classes, we don't have a proper matching constructor to apply. So okay, but here I know that, so by using the constructor, I want to initialize the value of b in a derived class and a in base class. Maybe you can think that is it possible, we can assign like this dot a equal to a, it's applicable, but actually it is not the best practice to use, because so the instance variable is defined inside of your base class, so that the initialization must have taken place only inside of the base class. That is the best practice we need to follow. Okay, so So here I here I need to pass the control to the parameterized constructor of my previous base class. So that I want to pass the value of a to base class. So then here it means that it invokes that here I am passing a parameter, so that by using the super keyword, generally in a default, always the control from the derived class to the base class, control will be transferred to only the default constructor in general. In this is default. But if you want to make it transfer the control to the parameterized constructor to the base class, we must use the keyword super. I will repeat once again. So normally from the derived always the control will be transferred from derived class to base class only for the default constructor in automatically. In general, in default, that is called in automatic. Always the derived class map with the default constructor in the base class. That is in default. But if you want to invoke parameterized constructor of your base classes, maybe intermediate or maybe a base class, we must to use the super keyword to make a control. Means we can change the control transfer the control from instead of this a default constructor to parameterized constructor. So for this case, so that the control will be transferred to the one. Here I passing only one argument, so that it pass to the value to the one argument constructor in the immediate base class. So that immediate base class for the derived is demo. So that automatically the one the parameterized constructor the base class will be executed. So by using this keyword super, just we are just to transferring the control. We can try to execute just a minute. Constructors in the Java 16. I can test it now. Sorry, I didn't save it. I can test it once again. Yeah, there is no error. Just I'm going to run it. Now see that it executes both the parameterized constructors. So from that you can clearly to understand that by using a keyword, by using a super keyword, just we are invoking the parameterized constructor of your base classes. So that is a one rule. And the second one is for representing the base class instance variable. It is very, very important. So now the consider the constructor is over. Just I'm going to remove this. So here I have a variable a. For example, it takes a 10. And so here I'm going to remove this. Sorry, I'm going to assign some values here. So for a base class, the value of the variable name a is at 20. In derived class, the value of a equal to 10. But many of them think that it is an error message, but it won't create an error message because the memory allocated for this instance variable a in object scope demo, and for the memory will be allocated for with reference to a derived, so that it won't make any error messages on top. Just I'm going to create a one function to display the value of the CA. So system.out.println. So the value of A equal to, just I'm printing value of A. So we know that always the preference go for the current class variable, not for a derived class variable. Here the value of this A is overridden. So the value of A is 10. So that here the highest precedence go for only for the instance variable of the particular classes only. So that if you are calling the method display, because this is a member function, so that it doesn't invoke automatically. So just I'm going to compile. So no error, just I'm going to run it. So it will display only 10 because always the highest preference only for the derived class value. So if I'm using super.a, so super means always refer to the previous base class value. So here what is the previous base class value? It is a demo, so that the previous base class value is 10, that is a 20. So immediate previous base class value is a 20, so that it will display 20. So Java M, so that it will display 20. Okay, let us to discuss, add another one more class here, just for understanding. So class, I'm going to say it is an intermediate, extends from demo. So here I'm going to define another one more variable. So this is 45. So I'm going to extend this demo classes from intermediate, sorry, a derived class from intermediate, so that it is a 3 level of hierarchy is there. So that is called multi-level inheritance. So I'm going to run it now. So it is a 45. So always, whenever using super dot the name of the instance variable, always it refers to the instance variable of the immediate base class. So for this derivative class, the immediate base class is intermediate. So that if you are using super.a, it will refer the value of this previous value. It means that the instance variable of the intermediate class. But here in this logic, if I'm anywhere and I'm going to use, for example, so void.display. So I'm going to say this is a display 1. So here I'm going to super.a. So instead of that, I'm going to call super display 1. So that it always the starting execution from intermediate class. So that the answer must be a 20, because I'm this time printing the value of that derived class, means intermediate class INTER. So that if I'm calling super.a, automatically it will print the value of your immediate base class, so that the immediate base class is demo, so that it will print the value of your a value in the demo class. Just for understanding, just I'm creating a program like this. So from that we can easily clarify that if the value of your instance variable is same, I mean, so the name of the instance variable is same in both the category, I mean, in base and derived class, always the highest priority goes for only for the current classes only. So that if you want to change that meaning, if you want to refer to the base class value of your instance variable, so that we can use the keyword as a super. Okay, and the next, I mean, so here I have some other question. Somebody is thinking like this. Okay, just I'm going to remove this. And start that I'm going to use demo. Before that, just I'm going to test it. No error. Just I'm going to run it so that we know that it will display only the 20 because I'm super.a, so that immediate base class is demo. So that it will print the value. In case if I have a B, now you can check is there any error. Surely there is no error. I think you know why. What is the reason? Because the super.a means that there is no variable a in super class. That means that in a immediate base class there is no so keyword means there is no variable instance variable a. Instead, if you are using b here, so I told that only for the same name it will show like that. That is not a thing. Means that always it refers to the variable of your immediate base class, so it won't make any error message and all. So that it will print the value of 20. So from there you can easily differentiate that. So if you want to access the value of any instance variable of your base class, simply you can access with the super keyword. That's on your choice. But normally, if you so for example, even it will print like this. B, it will work because the instance the data number is not the same name is not defined in here. It's not defined in derived class. So that it will refer to the memory location of your base class. But the confusion only the ambiguity will be created only. That means the overriding only created if the instance variable name of your base class and derived class are same. So in this situation, in order to differentiate these two memory, we have to use the keyword super. So this is the second one. And the third one, assume that there is a function. Same function that is called method overriding is implemented in both the classes. System.out.println. The value of a in base class. I want to print the value of this instance variable on only but this particular class. Okay, no problem. It will be as usual be. So now I'm calling the display method, but see that there is a function overriding is implemented here. That means the same function name. That means the same signature is there. There is same function name, same number of arguments and same data type, and defined in both base and derived class. then it is called as a function overriding. So we know that the default solution for this function overriding is only on derivative class, so that it executes only the value in a derivative class. So that if you are just calling the method display, it always give the preference to only the derivative class, so that it will access the it will manipulate only the derivative class functions, so that it executes only the derivative class, so that it executes only this derivative class value. So if you want to execute both the classes, so that you can use super dot. So you can use super dot display. It means that if you are calling the function like this, display, it is like as a recursion. We're calling the same function again and again. But here it is. But here, if you're applying the recursion, we must have some specific condition. But we don't have any specific condition. But the condition is I don't want to make it as a recursion. I want to call the base class construct with the base class method, so that I'm going to use super dot display. Automatically, the control will be transferred to this display method, so that it will print the value of a in a base class. Then automatically, then it will be execute the remaining statement of your display on derivative class method. So now we have to test it. So there is no error. Just I'm going to run this. So it will print A. Sorry, I didn't save this program. Sorry. So now you can compile. So then I'm going to run it. So that it will execute the value of your the method in A and a base class and as well as a derivative class. So that if the function overriding exists, so that if you want to call your base class method from the derivative class over function overriding, we can use super keyword. Then we have to try to understand this location of the super keyword. But in constructor and all, we have to define as a first statement. Now you have to check about for a function overriding, is there any condition for out? So by using this verification, by using running, just we can check it. There is no error. So from that we can easily understand that the calling of function overriding method in anywhere of your function. But only for a constructor, the calling of your base class constructor must be as a first statement. Only it's applicable only in constructor logics. So this is the way, from that we can clearly to understand that the super keyword plays the three roles in programming languages. In Java, in inheritance hierarchy, one is invoking the base class parameterized constructor from the derivative class. Second one is for representing the data instance variable of your base class. When the name of your base class and derivative class name, data member, the instance member names are same. The third one is if the method overriding is there. So if you want to invoke the super class method from a derivative class, then we can use a super keyword. So these are the three possible locations. We have to use the concept of super keyword for the implementation purpose. Thank you.